Good afternoon, everybody. Time for another BrickBucks update. Once again, my name is Jim, and this is where we talk about LEGO investing and reselling. So real quick, I just wanted to mention, I'm sure most of you have already heard, but I'm just putting it out there for the few that may have not. I'm going to be doing a Q&A towards the end of January. I'm looking forward to it. We've had a lot of questions so far, and most have been good. And I think that's great because you want to have a good Q&A, right? So I'm going to be using some questions that people have dropped in the comment box. In the past, I'm going to be using some questions that people have just DM'd me. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop it in the comments section below. I'll be happy to answer them. I'd like to do a little bit of a, not lightning round, but I want to make sure that I answer as many good questions as I can. So I'm going to answer them as quickly, but also give you some real meat and potatoes to those answers as I can. So now we're going to talk about two of the Technic cars. We're going to be talking about the new Technic Lamborghini, and we're also going to be talking about the new Technic McLaren. Now, I always thought about not doing a review, if you want to call it, because although we haven't seen what the pictures were going to look like a few months ago, there was news that came out that these two cars were coming, and I kind of gave you my blind opinion on them, and I talked about what I would like to see. But now that it's out, it checks all the boxes for me to do a review, so I'm just going to go ahead and do it. Now, real quick, before I get into that, I just want to mention, I've said in the past, one of the things I did not like about the Technic cars and some of the non-Technic cars is the color. And if you like these two, God bless. But I really don't. I like the Bugatti, but I just didn't like the obnoxious blue to it. I like the Lamborghini. I thought the Lamborghini was awesome. I just don't like the obnoxious green to it. I would like maybe a midnight blue for the Lamborghini. And so that's something that really didn't excite me, not to mention the high price point. But I really think that LEGO this time hit both race cars out of the park, and we're going to talk about them. Now, this right here, of course, is the new Technic Ferrari. It looks like the price point on Amazon.com is $169.99. And I've heard some people talk about the stickers, and I agree with you. I think there's way too many stickers. Now, it is a race car, so it makes sense. I don't necessarily think LEGO did anything wrong by sticking all these stickers on here. But similar to the Ghostbusters Ecto 1, there was a lot of people saying that they weren't going to put the stickers on it. There's a lot of people that are saying that they're not going to put the stickers on this, or they're only going to put half the stickers on it. Because here's the deal. This is a beautiful car. For me, it is not an obnoxious color at all. I really don't think there's such a thing as obnoxious red. You really can't go wrong with red, and I actually think LEGO could do more race cars or cars in general in red. But I love this car. I'm okay with going above $100. My comfort zone, as I preached last year, has been $100 or less. But this is such a beautiful car, and not to mention, this car was just released, so you're going to see, hopefully you should, within the next 18 months, you're going to see this at 20% off, which is going to be very attractive. Now, I really don't think I would ever purchase this at full price unless I already had 100 or 200 of these, and I bought the majority of them for 20% off, and this was the last month that they were going to be selling before they retired. I could see myself scoop a couple up at regular retail price, but this is something that I'm going to definitely pull the trigger on whenever I see it around the 20% off mark. Now, we will go to LEGO real quick, and you could see, it had some price action. You see $239, you see $225, you see almost $260 right there. So there is going to be a demand for this, and this should be out. I'm thinking no more than 2.5 years, probably 2 years tops. And I would be, I just don't see this being a middle of July retirement. So it could be just 2 years. And then we have the McLaren, and here's the thing, uh, nothing about the McLaren in the past has excited me. The just the company and the race company it's itself, for those of you that follow that, I've just never been impressed by McLaren, and McLaren has not done well when it comes to racing recently. In the past they've done tremendous. So I kind of just stepped back a little bit when I saw that they were going to be doing a larger non-speed champions McLaren. But I'm going to be honest, guys, they hit this out of the park. They got the color right. It's not an obnoxious blue, not to mention, but they also have some black, which I like, and that's one of the reasons why I like the Corvette, the $50 Technic Corvette, is because it has that obnoxious orange color to it, but at the same time, there's black, a lot of black in that vehicle, and so that has made it more attractive to me than the Bugatti or the Lamborghini. There's only 8 sellers right now for $49.99. So this is there's nothing really to write home about this, other than it's a great car. And just like the car I just reviewed, you want to wait 18 months before you start going into it. Now when you go to eBay, you can see that there is a little bit of price action. You can see it as high as, looks like almost $80. There's some 70. Looks like it's trending at 69 and change. So nothing really to write home about. But the good news is that it was having at least a little bit of price action before it was released. I like both cars. Now I'm not going to do an Excel spreadsheet for these, because these just came out. But if you were to ask me, Jim, what do you think the ROI is on those two cars, I would have to compare it to the Technic Porsche 911 GT3. Again, I was not excited about this vehicle because of the price point, and also because it had this obnoxious orange to it. But it's doing well. It's going for $700. Let's see how many sellers there are. There's 26 sellers, so you don't have a lot of sellers. I'm sure on the McLaren you'll probably have like 80 some sellers, right? And so when you go to Camel, this is exactly, if someone asked me, where do you think the trajectory is going to be on the two cars I just reviewed, I would put it square in line with the Porsche. Because here's the thing, when that orange Porsche came out, I could see why people fell in love with it, and for a moment I did too, to be honest. And then I'm not joking. I was at the Lego store and I'm just eyeballing this. I got my eyes right up to this box, and I said to myself, is this something I really want to drop some money and grab 50 units of? And I was like, no, I just don't. And so I just let it go. Almost got one, but I decided against it. But when it comes to these two, I mean, I'm doing jumping jacks, and it should be discounted. I don't even think that the Porsche was discounted at all during that time. Because you didn't see a lot of $300 sets that LEGO was selling, right? And so there weren't a lot of places that had the Porsche. And whenever they did, they weren't discounted. If anything, if they were at Toys R Us, they were at a higher price point, because Toys R Us used to do that. But this right here is exactly the same trajectory that I see with the other two cars that I just reviewed. And I'm excited. I mean, it's going to be good to see what happens to this car within the next 18 months. Not that I want to have any type of shutdown, because of COVID. But if there is, I'm definitely going to take a look and see what's going on with these two cars. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please, my friends, don't forget to like and subscribe. We greatly appreciate it. I'm Jim. with brickbucks.net. Always go out there and get it.